some of our top political headlines we're following this morning. Joining us now, political strategist Matt Klink. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
All right, we had some breaking news that hit just a couple of hours ago. Billionaire Tom Steyer launching his California gubernatorial bid. Saw him recently with some of those Prop 50 ads, and here he is. What's your take on this?
Well, look, California has a long history of rejecting billionaires who want to buy elections. Just look at Meg Whitman and Al Checky as two examples from both a Republican and a Democratic perspective. Mr. Steyer can finance his own campaign. He's run for president. The question is what's his lane? Where does he get traction? And I think that's what we'll see in the coming weeks and months.
You know, it's interesting with this growing field of political candidates there on the Democratic side. You wonder where the name recognition is there. You're a political consultant, and just being in the news, I know who Tom Steyer is, and maybe people remember him running for president back in 2020. But when you look at that field of candidates there, it's not necessarily like there's a ton of name recognition there.
Yeah, with a multi-candidate primary field, what's really going to be important is for the top two candidates, they're just going to be able to mobilize their core of voters for the primary. So by adding another name to the mix, it just reduces that total number that the top two finishers need to get into the November general election. I just don't see a path for Tom Steyer, or that there's a clamoring for him, meaning people aren't saying, oh, thank goodness Tom Steyer's in the race.
Maybe he throws enough money at this, and perhaps he gets more airtime and more recognition there. Maybe that's the strategy there. What do you think of this? There was a new poll that was released from Berkeley IGS. It showed Riverside County Sheriff Republican Chad Bianco in the lead with 13%, followed by Katie Porter in second with 11%. Perhaps just that Bianco's more on the conservative side, so he gets the lion's share of Republican votes?
Well, he does. I mean, let's not forget there's about 25 to 30% of the electorate that is Republican. And if they mobilize behind one candidate, that candidate will pull through to the general election. That would be Katie Porter's sweet dream, because then the election would be over. That's what happened. Adam Schiff did that with Steve Garvey in his run for Senate. He campaigned actually for Garvey against Katie Porter. So look, the challenge is with a multi-candidate field that is a top two finisher, whomever can mobilize their constituency can get into that November runoff. So the more that get in, the smaller that number gets. I mean, there is a likely scenario, probably won't happen, where you could get two Republicans that end up in the general election. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could.
Okay, let's switch gears here. We have less than a minute here, but I want to get your take on that ruling handed down by a federal judge that blocks Texas from using the gerrymandered maps. How do you think this might affect Prop 50 here in California?
Well, it has zero impact on Prop 50. The Gavin Newsom's team removed the trigger language in Prop 50, so the new districts for us stay in place. But for Texas, it means that right now they have a stay, so they have to use the 2021 maps. The governor has appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it's important, though. Remember, Texas has a March primary, so their filing deadline closes on December 8th. So either this gets resolved quickly and they could use the 2025 maps, or if the Supreme Court does nothing or denies it, the 2021 maps go back into play. So it makes Gavin Newsom look that much smarter for doing Prop 50.
All right. Matt Klink, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a million. Have a good day.
You too.